Today I'm going to be talking about Lexus IS300 and what I've done to it and all the stuff that I put in it and how much it cost and what's reliable and the little details that I did to make it how it is and how I got it to tune it myself. I said a lot of ums, but we'll get started. I'll start from, I did have a list. I don't know where it went. We'll start from how I, when I got it, where I got it, and all that stuff. But I got my 2003 Lexus IS300 back like 8 years ago. I got it over at Raleigh, North Carolina. It looked a lot better than this before I started drifting it. It was rear-wheel drive, 200 horsepower, and I was doing burnouts. I was ripping around parking lots, hitting curves. I pretty much trashed the car, but it was a drift life. Close the garage up a little bit because I feel like people are telling me I'm crazy over here talking to myself, but I'm talking to you guys. I got a rusted hood. It was bent, so I bought a new one and never got it painted. I was saving up for the turbo kit and all the turbo stuff, and same thing with the front bumper. It came off and I ran over it. So let's get to talking more about the car and how I got it boosted. I mounted the whole tech right here, the sticky dash. A lot of IS300s, forgot what year it is, but they have these problem with sticky dashes and there wasn't any recall on it. I also love the cluster on the IS300s. I messed up on installing my horn because I cut everything out. So I ended up putting my horn right here, where this button is, right here. And one day, my ignition stopped working on my key. So I wired it up and made it as a switch. Oh, and also, I put the golf cart rearview mirror on here. Just take out the trunk, and I'll go ahead and pop the hood. So I just gutted out the trunk and put my battery back here. I got the LED taillights. My exhaust is the Tanabe Medallion Touring.
Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
It was pretty expensive. It was like $600, but now that it's boosted, it's not really worth it because there's only 2.5 inches piping and 3 inches outlet. But yeah, it's from the middle of my Lexus to the muffler, and it is for sale. So if you guys live around North Carolina, it's on the Facebook market, selling it for $400 or best offer. That's how rearview mirror looks like. I put a bunch of stickers on there. So let's get to the meat of the Lexus. It has the 2JZ GE. It's the same block as the Toyota Supra. There's a couple things different on it than the 2JZ GTE. It has a 10:01 compression ratio, but I changed that to 9:1 compression ratio by putting in the 2JZ GTE head gasket. We'll start out with the fuel system. The fuel system, I got a Walbro 255 LPH fuel pump. I have a 650cc injectors, and I tapped onto the fuel rail. I took it off. Make sure you take it off because you don't want any shavings in there. And made a return line, and it goes to my fuel pressure regulator, my Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator. and I have it set at 43.5 psi. And I used this fitting. This fitting was blocked, and I just took it off and hooked my fuel pressure regulator in it. My Holtec Elite 2000 sits inside, and I bought the boom slang harness with it, which goes directly to your ECU. What it is, it's like this big giant blue thing of wires, and you just connect one side to the ECU and then the other side to the wiring harness, the stock wiring harness. And I just cut a hole right here so that the boom slang harness would go inside, and then I had to really press that down and bolt the cover in. And to feed my turbo, I used a oil filter adapter. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's right there. So I just got this radiator from Amazon. These ones were, I think this was $100, and it's cools 30% more, and it's been holding up for a long time. So hopefully it holds up a lot more. The only thing, it was the cap. It wasn't doing much. So my buddy of mine bought this for me for Christmas, but I put the GTE head gasket and ARP studs on it, and that's it. Before you boost your 2JZ, make sure you run a compression test through every cylinder before you even do it. Because if one cylinder doesn't even hold compression, it's just gonna, I don't know if it's gonna blow up later, or you're not gonna have all the power, or it's not gonna work as well. So I got the turbo kit from CX Racing. Just one thing with their kit, do not get their turbo, because down the road it'll just go out on you. I have the hybrid Turbonetics. The reason why I went with a hybrid turbo is because I didn't want to have all the lag. The only thing with that is the ABS used to sit right here, right underneath this blow-off valve, and all the lines, those lines would be across from here. Well, it would be right here, and it would be touching the exhaust side of the turbo. I don't have a turbo blanket, so I relocated my ABS, and it's fairly easy. There's guys on YouTube already made a couple videos of that. All it is you grab some lines from your closest auto parts store and grab some fittings and bend it and get her done. But yeah, I relocated that. That's why my battery's in the back, because the ABS has to be there. How I did my catch can, I kept the old fittings on there, and it's not an AN fitting. I just clamped hoses to it and ran it through this 3-port catch can. Now these two are the inlets, and this is the outlet that goes to my air filter. All I did was drill a hole in the air filter and put a fitting in it, so this hose would go to it. Blow-off valve and wastegate I'm running. I went with tile 50mm blow-off valve, which sounds amazing. And make sure whenever you do that, you get the 11 psi spring. And then down there, you won't be able to see it, but I have the 38mm wastegate. Now I did with the CX Racing turbo manifold, the wastegate flange is 40mm, but my wastegate itself is 38mm. So I had to buy a 40mm and a 38mm flange, and had welded to a small pipe. Make sure you guys wrap or get it coated, the turbo manifold, because you don't want to burn anything up. And if anything is touching your downpipe, make sure you wrap it with heat stuff. I have the Mac boost controller. My return line I tapped onto that little piece over there. You'll see it once you pull all your stuff out. You see this little spot where you can drill into, and make sure whenever you drill into, I don't care how much grease you put onto that drill bit, there's some shavings that's gonna go down there in the pan. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it on here. I didn't do much. 2JZ is pretty good from, you know, to 450. Just don't go too high on the torque unless you get the automatic, because my transmission's only good for about 350 pounds of torque, I think. And make sure you change your clutch.
Yep, there you go. Oh.
The process of me doing this from the start, you know, to the end is on my Instagram. I got pictures on there from like just, you know, little details on how I did stuff, and you can just follow along on that. If you have any questions, let me know. Comment below and I'll answer it or try to answer it. All in all, I spent on everything, the CX Racing, about $900 to $1,000 for the CX Racing kit. Turbo, I got it used from my buddy for $500, but I think you can get a brand new one for like $900 to $1,000. The tiles, I got it used. I got them both for $250. My Haltech, I think, is the most expensive. With the Haltech and the boom slang harness was $2,500. All in all, probably spent boosting it with all the oil that I've changed out, coolant, the gasket, air P-studs, all the vacuum hoses that I had to get, and the fuel lines, the fuel pump. All in all, probably spent about $4,000 to $5,000. Actually, maybe less. I don't know, because I did everything myself. So, and I still, in the future, I will be getting it tuned. And in the future, I'm kind of getting sick and tired of my hood being rusted. I'm just gonna paint it myself black, and then after I paint it myself black, I'm gonna try to see what kind of vinyl wrap that I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do that myself. I'm gonna try it on the hood first, you know, get some practices in. That's about it, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys hit the like button, and like I said, comment on any questions. I'll try to answer. Yeah. See you guys till next time.